Good to be live again. Let's have another one going without having to wait an eternity since the last one. So hello to everyone who was watching the VOD. The standard introduction of getting everything set up as this thing goes. Nathan and Jet, hello, thank you very much for tuning in. One moment, need to get on with the pre-show settings and whatnot. Tonks Train 17, hello as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. Consistent live streaming. It's pretty good, isn't it? Very impromptu, again, like I mentioned in the Discord server earlier today. This was not planned, but I had my lunch after work and I thought, you know what? Let's have a live stream. Why not? Like I said last time, I need to get used to doing more of these. I don't want to wait an eternity for the next one. I'm not really doing anything this evening besides charging some batteries. So yeah, let's do a live stream. Pretty good. Okay, that's all up to date. Stream is up. The Lego Railway series. Hello, thank you very much for tuning in. How are you doing? That's all in there. Oh, it doesn't matter. Right, time to do the pinging of the Discord. Live now. Send. Once again, over 200 people in the server at this time. And let's go. Doing pretty good. My next narrow gauge engine is nearly finished. Yes. Is it is it the one that got sent to the Shadow Realm? Well, I think you actually finished that one. Tom says, I'm thinking of scrapping my Lego Thomas model. Well, that's an interesting thing to say because we can go straight into something rather amazing. So, 1 second, I need to grab a thing. Well, 3 things actually. Let's grab a 4th one. Why not? Right. That's my phone. That needs to stay there. There we go. So handle has been done for a while. I'm doing the Mighty Mac, of course. The single Fairleys. I saw them on your community post. Yes, indeed. A certain community post was made earlier today, showcasing some new fascinating models of mine. It's worth mentioning again. Okay, my stream is lagging. Yeah, okay, I think we're good. Bit of a scare there. Anyways, I've got loads of batteries on charge. So potentially during the stream, you might hear some beeping. It's not you, it's me. It's this. Loads of batteries on charge. Okay? So just so that's out of the way, it's all right. Right, so we're going to jump straight in to showcasing some models. So if you saw my community post earlier today, or if you saw the the poster was put in Discord as well, but I made a community post so more people would see it. I recently as in this week, finally got around to starting some overhauls of my Thomas characters. Now, my Thomas characters are a few years old. To give some context and a bit of a story here, let me get rid of this so there's no rustling as I'm trying to talk. Oh, that's out of the way. So yes, to give some context, my stream... Sorry, stand by, folks. What is going on? Right, okay. Right, okay. I'm not too sure what's going on. My PC seems to be lagging a little. I suppose it's just my computer lagging. Um, okay, if I start lagging and the stream starts to be a bit off, then just let me know. Everything seems to be okay now. Right, let's get back into it. So yes, my Thomas characters. I first made Thomas back in, so basically 3 years ago, around about now, and it was my first step into properly making some Thomas characters out of Lego. And it was about a year later where I made Gordon, followed that up with the original other characters to make the main five. Then the rest is history. So those Thomas character models were made in a way to be simple, a little bit smaller than the usual mocks I make because they were Thomas characters. I'm basing them off the TV series, so they're quite simple in design. And it was quite nice to just, it was nice to have Thomas characters and not have to put so much detail into them. Kumata, hello, thank you very much for tuning in. Good to see you. How you doing? So yes, after making those models, I was of course very happy with them. But over the past few months, I have been talking a lot about, yeah, I need to overhaul these models. They're so bad, they're out of date. And I've never had the motivation to get on with it until this week. So again, if you saw the community post, you've already seen the first three models. But if you haven't, first of all, you probably have by this point now, having mentioned it a few times. But I've got them here to showcase because live action showing is way more fun. So yes, the first three models that got overhauled was first of all was Oliver. Was Oliver first? Oliver, Duck, and Thomas. Which one did I do first? I think Duck was first because I love the pannier tank more than the 14XX. But it doesn't matter. Basically, three tank engines got overhauled and they are way better models. Oh, yes. They've received a lot of praise in a number of places. And if you haven't seen them already, here is the new Thomas. Lighting, rubbish as ever, but yes. So this is now improved in such a way from comparing it to the original 2020 build, where the running board was 6 wide. That is a whiny moped engine outside. It's a bit warm, windows open, so yeah, you might hear a couple of car engines. Anyways, there was a modification made to where the running board was taken out to 7 wide and the main body stayed at 6 wide. And that was my model for over 2.5 years. So this particular model, it was only supposed to have a new boiler using the cheese wedge method. Eventually, that led to the entire upper body being completely rebuilt. So it has a new boiler design. It has a new tank design using some sideways building elements and some tiles to make that look. It's not too different from how it looked last time. The locomotive model is now 8 studs wide. At least the body, well, the main body is 7 wide. The running board is 8 studs wide. And it feels better. I can't comfortably make a locomotive model these days 7 studs. I can't do it. I just can't do it. It doesn't work. Was reusing the faces from older models a limitation at all? No, not at all. I made sure that the models were being made in a way where I can still use the faces. There was no limitation in any way. It was always the intention to be able to keep the faces, and the model will still be built to its own way, but the face will still be on there. So yeah, Thomas didn't really have that much of an upgrade. It was a bit difficult to see, but you can kind of faintly see there is a red square along the back, and of course a lamp iron to, of course, put a lamp on there. And yeah, Thomas just feels a bit more better. Again, more up to date after years of being that kind of simple model. It's so bizarre to look at how this has been built compared to the other Thomas model where I used those 45-degree, not wedge, sloped bricks to represent the boiler. It looks so chunky and oh man. But yeah, better top. Oh yeah, and of course the whistle is a golden binocular piece, which is again way better. And yeah, that's the new Thomas. Oh, move that over there. Nathan says, I don't like how tall the domes on Oliver and Duck are in the community post. Well, that is fair. And to be honest, that's quite difficult to get right. So ideally with the domes, they should have the rounded 2x2 brick. I don't have any of those as well. I've got some in black, but I don't have any in green. So for now, I thought I need to make amends by, because it's gonna have a flat top, I need to make it a little bit taller, you know. So it is, yeah, I get what you mean. It's a balance between, I need to make it a little bit tall because it does look like a tall dome when you look at reference pictures, but it shouldn't be that tall anyways. It's making up for the fact that I can only use a flat piece for the dome instead of a proper dome shaped item. So yeah. Rock Band Hyena, hello Josh, good to see you. How you doing? And Tonk says I have a video of my Lego Thomas if you want to see it. I will check that out momentarily. Oh, they just pause the stream. Right, we'll load up the channel. I'll have a look at it in just a moment. Oh, there we go. It loaded up quite quickly. So Tonks Trains has made his own version of Thomas. 6 July 2023. That title needs updating. But yeah, it's definitely a starting point. Remember this. In the community post I made, what was it? What was the exact phrase I said? I can't remember off the top of my head. Because with my particular fan base, I have a lot of younger active fans. So one thing to remember is there isn't good without bad, and there isn't progression without looking back. I remember when I made models in such a simple way, and here I am countless years later to making the models I am today. So what you've made is an excellent starting point. Keep going with it. And one day you'll make that. Okay, then back to the stream. Doing all right? Excellent. Good to hear. Right, model number 2. I'll save the tank engines for later. I want to show you something I haven't shared publicly yet. So I've shared this in a select few places. One of the other models I wanted to overhaul was my model of Stephenson's rocket. Much more packed with detail. So we're going to start off with saying hello to TFN1 Studios. Hello, thank you very much for tuning in. Just in time to see the rocket. So, the tender was updated first. That is the tender, again, a bit naff. Oh, that's good. Using the light reflecting there. So I've got 1x2s going along the side to represent some wood paneling. Again, kept the yellow wheels. There is, as you can see here, again with the light, a couple of extra details to make the tender just a little bit taller. I kind of may have a bit more detail. The barrel I've completely replaced from those that terrible brown barrel method I have. It was so bad. To some black pieces kind of held together, semi kept together with lining tape. Is a bit difficult to well, that is the lining tape you're seeing there, and that just slots right in. There's no sticking point. Again, it's completely loose, but it's also a little bit friction fit, so that sits in perfectly fine. Nothing too major in terms of changes, but it's just more refined. It looks much nicer. And of course, a coal load. As for the boiler, this got a huge upgrade. So, this is, oh, look at this. This is so much fun. Look at that. That's my cylinder design. Oh, love it. So yes, the boiler has been completely rebuilt, similar to how Thomas was built. It used standard chunky bricks and the 45-degree angle slope pieces. And it looked really, it's so bland. It was awful. This uses the cheese wedge method. It has handlebars along the side, a couple of extra details. If you see it facing from the front, there's a bar going across there. And what's supposed to be the handrail is kind of going in. It's kind of the best I could do with this kind of space. And along the top, you can see some more details. So, without knocking anything, I'll show that in a second anyways. So, of course, 2 other handle pieces, I suppose, that were wrapped and connected to the upper part of the funnel. And of course, the dome, the whistle, and everything else that's on the top. It looks so much nicer. Again, there was more love and care put into this particular model. It wasn't something that was quickly bashed together for the sake of having a Stephenson's rocket cared for. And underneath, another specific detail I want to try and have. There we. Okay. That's a first. Well, for a stream at least. And this is where it's a good thing that I am using a... Hang on, let me get myself a bit of light. There we go. So yes, this is one of those moments where using a mobile device to stream is better than me using my PC because it is shocking. So this is something... I can't hold the phone up all the time. Okay. We'll get back to that in just a moment. So what you're seeing now is basically something that happens every now and then, and I've got no control over this. My computer tower is really, well, bad, just to keep it simple. I need a new one, but it's so expensive trying to get a new one, and it's something I want, but it's a bit of a turn off at the same time. But with this ruddy, terrible tower, like it has done just now, it will completely shut off. It will completely shut off as if you've taken the plug out of the wall. It loses power like that. It's instant. But a few seconds later, it will turn itself back on. So it's doing that right now. This is it happens every now and then. It's not exactly common, but it happens more times than it should. This is this is the ultimate behind the scenes thing at what happens with me and my PC. What's funny is on my monitor it says PC specialist. No, you're not. Yeah, okay. So that was Stevenson's rocket. What I was going to try and showcase just before that happened, underneath here, you can't see it because it's completely pitch black, or maybe when the screen comes back on. Any moment now. This is a pain in the ass because it is taking this long. Thank you for sticking around, folks. We will get this sorted out. It's God damn. This has happened when I've done recordings with the Brick Railway Builders podcast. And I give this heads up every single time before we actually begin recording. I basically say to them, if I suddenly disappear from the call, this is what happens. And it's not fun. Right, never mind the detail. Basically, it's just a handlebar that's underneath here that's connecting to the wheel. It's nothing special. So yeah, I'm going to put this away as my computer slowly brings itself back to life. There we go. Oh. Which now means I've got to log in again. And load up the stream back on my computer. I think I should be able to get the stream. Well, I need to make sure I'm keeping up with chat. So let me quickly get the stream up on my phone. Because I saw a few comments come in over the past few minutes. Right. Tonk says, so I heard you're moving to a new house. I'm not, so unless someone else came into chat where you know that's happening. No. I'm complaining about the cost of housing. I'm not moving to a new one. Good lord, I can't afford that. Nathan says, I built a Percy in the same scale as Larry's Lego in my community tab, but it requires some lining tape. Yeah, fair enough. Those, what I like to call them pocket trains because they are very tiny models and they look excellent. So Larry's gotten a lot of views for his videos as well. Well done, Larry. I, for one, like to think my podcast kind of boosted his channel subs. A bit egotistical for me to say that, but yeah, he's done really well with YouTube recently. His videos have gotten a lot of views. Fair enough. TFN1 says, honestly, that looks really good. Thank you very much. It's a really good model as well. Tonk says, I have one question. Do you have the coaches for the rocket? Yes, I do. I've actually got them out as well because I had a plan to make a box for my Stevenson's rocket and the 3 coaches in the same way I've got a box for my Coronation and Blue Goose. What? Oh, that's that. Sorry, that's just something poking out there. That was the corner of the Nerf box. Sorry about that. Coaches, yes. I might as well grab one in a moment just to show you because I've got 3 of them. Sadly, the box I did kind of fell through, but I would like to make a box for them one day, just for the sake of having another thing. But at the same time, it's like I now have to find a space to store that box. It's just completely unnecessary. So I think I might ultimately just leave it be. But yeah, I'll grab one of the coaches and show you in a moment. Right, so we're finally logged in. That only took an eternity. Bloody Nora, hell. When you're forced to do everything on a very tight budget, literally on a potato. I have a potato budget, and that is not my choice. Welcome to the modern world, folks. A lot of people watching my channel and my streams and everything else is much younger than me, and I remember thinking, oh, you could just go get this, you're an adult, you get money. But when everything else demands money just to basically live, it's yeah, it's a bit tedious. This is why I'm not buying Lego anymore. Anyways, one last comment to catch up with in chat. Tonk says, I was looking at your original models. I saw Stevenson's Champion, and looking back at it now, still an epic model you've made. I liked my model of Stevenson's Champion. This was back in the original days of the quadruplex. So, having made the original 4, Emerald Champion, Greyhound, Big Red, and Blue Guardian, I wanted to make a 5th one after being inspired by German steam locomotives, and thus the Midnight Panther was born. There is a car outside, that's the engine. What a disaster stream, you know? And after that was made, I thought, you know what? I've got a model of Stevenson's rocket. What would a quadruplex version of that look like? And thus Stevenson's Champion was made. The last version, which was like 7.1, I think, was the best version. Of course it was. It was the last one. Right, let's go back to here. What's that on the screen? Look. Yeah. Looking back. Yep, okay, right. We're all caught up with the chat. Good, very good. Just need to wait for this thing to load back in. Let's have a drink. Sponsored by Diesel Fuel. That's something that could be taken out of context. Yeah. Right. Once oh, here we go. I was about to say when this finishes loading, I can go grab a coach, but I think that's not going to happen now. So yeah, Stevenson's Rocco. Stevenson's Rocco? Oh, I cannot. I've got jonkism. If you know, you know. So Stevenson's Rocket was the first model to be overhauled. So I did Stevenson's Rocket, then Duck, then Oliver, then Thomas. Right, let's catch up. So I've got the live stream back open. The chat is back with me. Ah, there we go. After all that horrible rubbish, that was like 10 minutes. That was a 10-minute process to get back to here. The struggle is real. Yeah. Two more comments before, or 3 more comments before we get back, and before I go grab a coach to show. I'll tell you, let me do that now, and I can catch up with chat in a moment. Right, then. So the coaches have their own showcase video, so you can find that on my channel. But because we're here now for a live stream, I will show you what they look like. That reminds me, I need to amend this design. Yes, I needed to replace the magnets with... I need to replace the magnets with Technic bricks to be able to move them all around in a more reliable way. So, tell you what, let me get the steps down. There we go. One, two... Ooh, that's not what I wanted. 3, there we go. So this is one of 3 of my Stevenson's Rocket coaches. Yeah, look at that. Using upside down building and some model lining tape, as well as some Lego, yellow Legoland bricks. There was a store I was buying parts from that had a couple of those, and I thought, you know what, let's have some. And yeah, I'm actually so happy with these coaches. There is a side of me that would love to build another dozen of these and see like a massive rake of them, because that would be such a unique thing to see. Sadly, I don't really have the bricks at the moment. The main thing is getting those black window pieces. I think I wouldn't bother with getting any more yellow Legoland bricks. I think they were kind of just for this 3. Well, a massive top up of parts would be needed, but still. I don't know if I show this way around. Yeah, that's the coach. Once again, this has its own showcase video. And what I want to, well, I need to do actually, is so that actually keeps the, if I turn it this way to better show you. So when this goes around corners, that is kind of kept in place thanks to the use of some of these, what do you call them, like slider, door slide pieces. So there's a couple of them wedged in a way where they're facing inwards. Again, it's a bit difficult to show you. Oh, there we go. So that's how it looks. So there's a little bit of wiggle room, but that keeps it in position. And the magnets will do all the turning to, again, connect to other coaches. But the magnets have, of course, these ones have the half pin length. So if I go, oh no, it's about there. Well, you can see the pin. It's again like a half length, and this is a full thick lift arm. So it doesn't like it when it's in there. When it goes around corners and it has to turn, it kind of slowly wiggles itself out of the lift arm. So yeah, I mean, I want to replace this with some Technic pieces, because of course it's all Technic, it will link up much better. And yeah, that's the main idea I still need to get around to. I might even do that after the stream. It's going to be a quick fix, so I can just get on with that. But yeah, Stevenson's Rocket Coaches. Ooh, tell you what, I've already put the steps back in. Let's grab the rockets. Let's see what this new rocket looks like with one of the coaches. Look at that. You'll have to pretend 3 more of these are here. I mean, I've only got 2 hands, I can't really hold that much more. But yeah. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Right. I'll have to stay in there. Oh, that's fine. That can be wrapped up easily. Let's grab the coach. Coach. Don't mind me, just casually going mad. Wrap that up. Fa-la-ling, fa-la-la. There we go. Yes, TFN1, that does look good. Okay then, let's catch up with chat. So Tonks once again says, also looking back at your Giants, again, Big Red's one of my favourites, and if you want to, you should revive him again if you want to. I kind of already done that. So the Giants I have now are built in red with yellow lining. They're the spiritual successors of Big Red, which is fascinating because I wanted to build a giant version of the Coronation, which is one I made I made it just in time for Brick Express last year. And in a way I thought, it doesn't really have a name. I wonder if I should just make this the new Big Red. But then there were ideas to be able to use different names for different giants. So yeah, there won't be a new Big Red because I've got 3 spiritual successors. So that'll do. This is a duck. Hello. Thank you very much for tuning in. How you doing? Nathan says, will you rebuild any other Thomas Mocks other than Gordon and Henry and the ones in the community post such as Percy or James or anything else? So, well, Gordon and Henry, yes, they are on the list. Percy, I'm tempted to do what I did with Thomas, in the sense that Percy's body is 7 studs wide. I might just modify his running board so that goes to 8 studs wide. And I gotta be honest, I think that's all I would ever do with him. Because again, his build is perfect for me. It's not the best, of course, but in terms of my build style and my preference, my model of Percy right now, perfect. Love him. So Percy might get one. James is definitely on the list. James is, oh, that's the first of 6 battery chargers done. I need to turn that one off. There we go. So once they beep, they need to be turned off. James is on the list because that model is just so bad. It really is. Who else was on the list? Who else was on the list? Let me get up my schedule. Pardon me. It takes a moment to load up. I'm not too sure if I want to do Edward though, because James and Edward are very similar models. But I love my model of Edward. It fits so perfectly. It looks, I love it. I just absolutely love it. Oh, there's another one. Mm-hmm. 2 out of 6. Lovely. Right. So Duck, Oliver, Henry, Gordon, James, Thomas. So yeah. So the 3 in the post were done. Henry and Gordon, of course, and James was the only other one. That also means I need to redo the Busy Bee James as well. And I've just realised I've made an LBSC Green Thomas. So that needs to be rebuilt to match the other Thomas I've just made. Forgot about that. That's alright though, that model desperately needs an upgrade. So yeah, I mean, I've got an idea of how I want to rebuild James's boiler. I also want to make the drive wheels standard large size again, because that's how I originally made the model. It was, well, if you watch the video you'll get it, but the modification after that was I changed it to have medium drive wheels, and the running board was taken to 8 wide to be more accurate with the show. There's number 3. Oh, they're probably going to start pinging off now, aren't they? But yeah, James is going to be a weird one because I feel like Edward needs to have an upgrade as well. But I need to see how well James goes first before I can make any decisions with what's his name? Edward, that's it. Call myself a Thomas fan. Yeah. Anyways, so that's the whole list. I'm basically, well, about a third of the way through. I got 2 James models to get on with. The other Thomas model, of course, I get the green version of what I've already made. Henry and Gordon, and potentially Edward. So it's going to keep me busy for a while. Yeah, it's not going to be that. Not going to be that bad. There's number 4. There we go. Need to let the batteries cool down as well. Yeah, so that's that. Tom's also saying, I know how stupidly expensive Lego is these days. Yeah, new Lego sets come along, and it's something exciting and cool, but you know, it's just so stupidly expensive. I don't get it. And Nathan also says, I hate it when some people come along and only have 2 hands. I mean, if the Omnitrix was real and I could dial in 4 arms, that'd be way better, wouldn't it? Tongs also says, while I am a LEGO fan, my main focus is on Trackmaster and Playrail and other stuff, but I really do enjoy your content. That's very good to hear. I've still got my Trackmaster and Playrail toys. I also made a video, I don't know how long ago at this point, where I got some of them out to play with. That is a video on my channel. I encourage you to check that out. Very fun. Is it possible to build a Diesel 10 in the scale you are using? Of course. You can build a Diesel 10 in a number of different scales and gauges. It's just making sure you're consistent in how you want to build it. Diesel 10 was on my build list. The problem is, having mentioned it now, it's like, oh, I really should build one. But it's a case of I need to buy in the parts in a certain color, which I don't. It's like dark tan, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was in dark tan, and I remember getting like 1 or 2 different Britling stores with all the parts ready to buy, and I just thought, nah, I'm not going to bother. I don't want to do that. It's a shame because, you know, I need to build Diesel 10 one day. I'm not there for it at the moment, but one day I've got to build Diesel 10. Duck says, been procrastinating with train stuff again. I got my Lego pneumatic engine into the Land Rover Technic set and it runs quite well. How are you doing today, fine sir? Doing pretty good. So yeah, before we get back to the Lego trains that I'm going to showcase to you, my day basically went like this. Had a nice slow morning, got into work, was frantically waiting for work to end so I can get through tonight to get to tomorrow, because tomorrow I will be setting up for my next Lego show, which will be taking place on Saturday at the Aerospace Museum here in Bristol, where the plane Concorde is resting. If you know the Concorde plane, that's that's home turf for me, and we're going to that museum where he lives, and we're doing a Lego show there. Over 1,000 tickets for that show have already been sold. No idea how many people are going to come through the gates to get new tickets. It's going to be a busy, busy day, and I am all here for it. Okay, let's find that play rail video. Just make sure. Yeah, Tonk says if you can link it, if I can link it. Yeah, I'll link that. I will link the play rail video in the chat because, again, it was a very fun video. How long ago was this? A year ago now at this point. Brick Express last year. How long ago was it? I haven't seen it yet. Only show. Have I gone past it? Right, I've gone past it. Podcast, Lego belts, Thomas characters, more podcast, more Thomas characters, Bristol Brick Show, LUKR Club Meet, more Thomas characters, some Nerf, Brick Express again. How far back was it? Alright, first of all, here is the video for my Stevenson's Rockets coaches. Union Pacific fan 4014, hello, thank you very much for tuning in. So, yeah. Oh, that's charger number 5, 1 left to go. So the first video I've just linked in there is my Stevenson's Rocket mock showcase video, because somebody asked about it earlier, and I thought I may as well link it in. Where is... How far back was it? There's the previous versions of Duck and... Oh my god, Duck and Oliver. They were so bad. Oliver's got 200 more views than Duck. Well, fair enough. Where is it? How old is this video? The original Thomas characters before my first show. Oh my god, it was before I did my first Lego show. On the plus side, this particular video has over 1,000 views. That's pretty good. God damn. Over 2 years old. Oh, back in the days when I would pay. Yeah. Bit of a warning, there's a Patreon intro for this particular video. Ugh. How many views has this got? Just over 1,000 views. Oh, okay. Right, I found it. So, paste, check, there we go. So the second video I've linked is the play rail and Trackmaster fun stuff. I was able to gather all of my coaches, or most of them. I think all the ones that had decent connections. And they're going right. Oh, this was 2 years ago, so the room looks so different. Such a clean floor as well. Yeah, I've still got all of this as well. It's just a matter of, you know, I don't really have the space to be able to play with it right now. But yeah, that's all there for your viewing pleasure. Okay, so UP fan 44 says, I've just finished building 2 diesels, 1 normal and 1 cabless. Ah, very interesting. Right, more models. Yeah, let's start off with Oliver next. Let's go with Oliver next. This one my model of Oliver was 100% rebuilt. You know what? That's a point. I'll have to think on that. I'll have to try something later on. But there's, yeah, okay, I'll have to go into that later. So, here is my new model of Oliver. Look at him now. Oh, yes. Detail, shape, character. Look at him. It looks excellent. There's details everywhere. Again, massive dome. Somebody earlier said that they don't like the fact that the dome is that tall. Again, I understand and agree, but it's due to part limitation. But I've done Oliver justice. If you look at the original model I made 2 years ago, what a bad model. What was I thinking? But yes, ladies and gentlemen, Oliver has been completely rebuilt and he looks excellent. In the meantime, he currently has black wheels. He is supposed to have green wheels, but I don't have any at the moment. He looks much bigger than I expected. Yeah, I mean, again, my other Oliver model was quite tiny. So this, it makes it look bigger, and that's a good thing. Because sometimes when I've built, well, I'm not going to say sometimes when I've built, because it's been forever since I've made an actual tank engine. But I remember back in the day when I made the Thomas characters, or the tank engine characters, they were purposefully minuscule. And this has a good amount of chunk. Like, I say this all the time. A Lego model to me looks incredible. Well, I could just wrap my hand around this and it looks and feels chunky. This is one of those models. Oh, yes. A bird's eye view when you get to see it like this. Just all the I'm so excited. But yes, that's done with great justice. It's a shame I can't show off too much in this setup because, again, it's really fuzzy and blurry. But yeah, there's Oliver. So what I'll do, before I move on to the last model, which is Duck, I want to quickly try a thing. Okay, right, I need to restore. Right. So basically, my LEGO user group is hosting a monthly competition, and that is... all of the batteries recharged. Excellent. Right, so yes. My LEGO user group hosts a monthly build competition. And for this month... oh, no, not that one. This one. The model needs to use at least 10 cheese slopes. If I can find him. Just make sure I've got this correct. I mean, it counts. There are cheese slopes on here. Right, okay. I'm going to send him a message to say if the model qualifies, because it has been completely rebuilt from the ground up. If he doesn't accept it, then to be honest, I won't challenge it. But again, this is a bit of a disruption, but I want to do this now because I'm very curious. If I get an update, or if he replies during the stream, I will read out the reply. So, sorry, bear with me just 1 second. Needs to use 10 cheese. Yeah, no wedges, right? Well, this model is a rebuild of a past model that has been does qualify in that it has 10 plus cheese wedges built in, although it's specifically for this month's mock off. If it can qualify for this this month's challenge, not Monty's challenge, this month's challenge, then cool. If it seems like a piss take, then no worries. Okay, let's see if that works. I'm very curious to see how the people react when the voting stage is done. But yeah, okay, right. That's out the way. It's all right. We're done. Whew. Right, where were we? Duck says, "Go like the stream, everyone." Yes, indeed. If you like what you see and want to see more, then a simple like shows a lot of appreciation. Thank you very much. Tom Strain says, "I have a question. Which is your favorite Trackmaster slash Playrail models?" I remember being fond of my toy of Neville. I remember years ago when we had some Playrail Trackmaster layouts going, I would always get the green and tan narrow gauge coaches simply because I had 3 of them compared to all the other coaches where I only had 2 of them. So in terms of a single consist of the same coach, I just stuck with them. And one of those coaches was powered and had a motor in them because that powered one came with Mighty Mac, which was an unmotorized toy. So I could attach other coaches along to that as well, and I've got a motor in the coach and a motor in the engine, and that's a lot of power to be able to go up hills and go through the layers, and it's a lot of fun. And I do remember my model of or my toy of Neville being the one I stuck to the most. So yeah, Neville is probably the best answer I can use. Murdoch was an interesting one because it was so different, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's definitely pretty cool. Spencer is up there. Busy Bee James is definitely up there. I do have a toy of Oliver. That's money, I suppose. But yeah, I think one of those. Probably Neville. As a safe answer, Neville, because I have memories of using that toy more than others. Okay. Let's wrap Oliver back up. Oh, hang on. I need to add. And there we go. Just needs to add an extra thing for that competition. Right, let's. I hope he replies within the next half an hour, because that would be really cool to get on stream. Right, where were we? Yes, that's all done. Oliver. Oh, hang on. Thomas isn't wrapped up either. To anybody who's just tuned in, that was Oliver. You missed Stevenson's rocket. This is a rebuild of Thomas. Yes, yes, very lovely. Yes, isn't it just the best? Yep, okay. That needs to be wrapped up in preparation for the final model of the day, and is probably the best tank engine I've ever built. I also made one final amendment to this model this morning in tucking in the buffer beam by 1 stud, or by one, like bringing it in by 1 brick, and it looks way better. This is Montague, though his friends call him Duck for his supposed waddle as he goes down the line. He likes the name, so Duck he became. Sorry for bursting your eardrums with that, but yes, this is my model of Montague, aka Duck, and I am so in love with this model. The bird's eye view. Look at that! Oh my god, it looks so chunky. I love it so much. This is Duck. The only thing I don't like is that I've given him some chunky eyebrows as part of the handrails. Yeah, man. I've improved my model of Duck at last. I mean, I was so happy with my model of Duck when I first made him 2 years ago. It was such a basic shape, but again, that was the point with the Thomas characters. But nowadays, that is a proper tank engine. The Bearded Warrior, hello, thank you very much for tuning in. What did I miss? You have missed a couple of models that I showed. Well, you haven't technically missed them. If you go to my community tab on my channel, you'll basically see some models that I have been rebuilding this past week. One of them being Duck, the Great Western Tank Engine. Yahar. Yeah, that's Duck. He's beautiful. I love him. And he loves me. I'm so obsessed with just looking at that. That bird's eye view. There's a bit of dirt on that brick there. Oh. There we go, that's off. But yeah, just... Are you not obsessed with this? Look at this. Oh, I want to wrap my hand around it. I want to squeeze it. It looks very cool. It sounds so bold of me to be so loud about my own models. But if you build a model, a Lego model, and you're not celebrating and getting all giddy and excited about it, then I don't think you've built a good enough model. I don't know about anybody else, but that's just me personally. But yeah, that's Duck. And I'm going to be taking those 3 Thomas characters to the Lego show on Saturday. It's a great view, but it's Duck, so I can't like him, but it's a good view. You don't like Duck? Okay. I'm keen to know why. I mean, it's a good model, Lego model representation of the character, sure, but if you don't like the character, then yeah, that's your choice. I wonder what kind of reaction these models are going to get over the weekend. It'll be very interesting. It's about time I made a pannier tank engine. Yes, honestly, if I was ever going to recommend a tank engine for people to build a pannier. They are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I see why people say they want to buy what you build. Yeah, I mean, after all the upgrades to these recent models, when people make these comments saying, I want to buy your models, do you have instructions? Again, you can understand the endearments of them. I haven't had any of those comments in a long time, and that is a good thing. But recently, I did a video where I reacted to all of your build suggestions, and that was very fun as well. I have a headcanon on Gordon in my alternate universe. Yeah, I think everybody has their own version of Sodor. Bearded Warrior says, in the books he just seems vain and argumentative and I just don't like him. But that makes sense. That's who he is. It works in that... So think of it this way. Duck works in a big city station. He's around so many people, so many engines. He's talking to everyone. He's learning people. He's learning how to behave around his environment. He's a product of his environment. So he will be arrogant. He will be vain, but it's never in such a way where he's annoying people in such a way. He's not going out of his way to be rude. He's bouncing that back towards other characters because that's what he's getting. That's what he knows. And of course, as we go through the books, how he behaved with Diesel, of course, that prank that he pulled to get him into trouble, Diesel reacting in the way that he did is a similarity, or if not like a reflection, of how Duck was behaving when he was working in the big city station. So, yeah, I can see why you don't like him, but there is growth and there is sense as to why he behaves that way. It definitely works. That isn't an allowed engine. Very good. Nathan retracted a message. What did you say? What did you say, boy? Type it again. I dare you. I don't think it was anything rude. I hope not, at least. Ah. So we are a few minutes away from the 1 hour mark, but I started the stream early because I just wanted to. So we are going to be going for another 20 minutes. How much would you sell Oliver for me to have any amounts of money? The thing is, okay, I'm someone who, I'm going to ask you this question and you will give me an answer. I don't want some BS answer. Just give me an answer. I, with this particular question, would give you a BS answer. I mean, I would never sell him. First of all, if I were to sell him, or again, taking Oliver for example, if for whatever reason I was going to sell that model, I would sell it for at least 3 times the cost that it would take for me to rebuy the bricks and all the other elements to make him again. So the toy, the letter sheets, in order to get all the decals on the side, well, there isn't any lining, so that's okay there. But again, all of the bricklink corders, taking in all the postage as well. I'm going to make that final cost at least triple it and then say, yeah, I'm going to sell it for that much, which is going to be stupid money. But at the same time, if I'm going to be in a position to where I'm going to have to sell it, I want money. I want money for it, you know? There is demand for it, but it's going to be a bit stupid. And it's also supposed to kind of deter people away from wanting to buy them in the first place. There probably will be people that would just fork out money for it. But 743.28. Yeah, sure. Don't quote me. I mean, it's not going to happen, but as a jokey answer, sure. Tonks Train says, in my alternate universe, Gordon's real name is Ignited Thunderstorm, but prefers to be called Gordon. Ignited Thunderstorm. Where did you get that from? Keep going. I want to hear the story. Keep going. Right, what I'm going to do, real quick, is put these models back over to the other side of the room. To keep them out of the way and keep them safe. Where I got his name from is called Imagination Land. Yeah, okay, sure thing, fair enough. Okay, one thing I wanted to quickly show you, because why not? Ta-da! So this is, 7 battery boxes. All 7 have batteries in them, and they are fully charged. That's ready for me to rock and roll for the Lego show on Saturday. So I don't need to worry about having to charge any batteries. I've got loads on standby ready to rock and roll. What I can do, because these are fully charged now, I can just take 4 of these, put them in the coaches. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. There's no real point in doing that because I've got these ones I can use. All right, we'll have to do this here as well. Oh, don't turn that on, Christ. UP fan 4014 says, have I mentioned I accidentally destroyed 2 of my biggest locomotives before and one was rebuilt? The 4014 was rebuilt and ATSF 3000 wasn't. I don't recall seeing you mention that. I might have seen the rebuilt version of your big boy on Discord, maybe? I'm probably misremembering. But I don't remember seeing that mentioned elsewhere. God damn. Alright, I'm going to keep that one there. Oh. Batteries. Lots and lots and lots of batteries. That's where a lot of my money has gone. I need to make sure I've got another box as well because some people have been asking for batteries too. Yeah. That's everything I have with me. Actually, you know what? There is something else I want to cover. It is Nerf related. So if you don't care about foam flinging, this will be your time to tune out, I suppose. But there is something very fascinating that I have to talk about. Also, wouldn't it be funny if you made Gordon a Lego Gordon, but he's a B1? Nah. Just keep it as an A1 or an A3. It just fits better, you know. You just gave me the best idea. Why not put a power bank into a water tower, and when a loco needs charging, it just sits there taking on water? Andrew, that's a brilliant idea. That's actually amazing. It would only work for powered locomotives, and of course with battery boxes that take a charger cable. So it's definitely possible. Pitch that to the club. Make a post right now, pitch that to the club, and see how well that is reacted to. Because honestly, how has nobody made that before? That's actually amazing. If you don't make that post by the time the stream ends, I'm going to make that post and I'm stealing my idea from you. So claim credit now, make that post. Right. So that is all of the battery boxes in. Taking on water when it's charging. That's so cool. And I love it. I love that. One, two, 3, and 4. So yes, these were the battery boxes to go in my Blue Goose coaches. There we go. With the basic interior, nothing really too special there. There's some empty seats. Oh. Where is, you know what, hang on. Are we working now? Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Are we working? Are we here? Hello? Test 1, 2. No idea what caused that just now. Terribly sorry. Let's just carry on and say yes. This is yeah. Okay, right. We're good. Sorry about that. Again, my setup is jank. Right. Hang on. There they are. Right, so I've got a box, a small pick-a-brick cup of minifigures from the Build a Minifigure wall from my Lego store. And I'm going to put these very special minifigures into the coaches. Let's get these old minifigures out. We'll use these as fillers where need be. And we have 10 minutes left, so let's go from there. So, where were we? A Nerf thing I want to talk about. Okay. So you may have seen on my channel a few days ago, earlier in the week, I uploaded a Nerf blaster review video. And it was for the Elite 2.0 Double Punch, which is a remarkable blaster. At the same time, I was recording a video for the X-Shot Long Shot, the Pro Series blaster. I've played with it before I did the video, had some fun with it, had a great time, was recording the video and got to the firing demo. I went to go fire the blast. I went to fire the blaster, and it failed. Tried to fire it again, still wouldn't fire. So what had happened was the darts weren't leaving the blaster. There would be dart after dart getting caught up in the barrel, and in order for me to free all those darts, I had to tip the blaster downwards to get them all out. I then took the blaster apart. I stopped the video, took the blaster apart to see if I can find what was wrong. Upon inspection, nothing I could see was broken. There were no obvious breakages anywhere. Nothing was out of place. Everything seemed to be okay. And I thought, okay, I'm going to have to just see if something came loose and try again. Put the blaster back together, went to go fire, and it did the same thing. Now, I only tested this with the half-length darts, but at the same time, I'm not going to be firing full length out of a blaster like that. So, I got quite annoyed with that. The blaster is only £35. And I remember someone making a comment saying, well, it's cheap for a reason. I was like, yeah, that's not unreasonable. Because X-Shots and Zuru Toys plastic is not strong, sturdy plastic. There's such a noticeable difference between the plastic used for that blaster and the plastic used for the double punch. So, that's my second ever pro level blaster. And just like the first one, that broke on me. I won a Nexus Pro in a raffle back at Foam Fest last year. So about this time last year. I was very excited, but sadly, I got darts jammed into the barrel itself, and I couldn't fire. I couldn't get, for the life of me, I could not get the dart out. That's it, it's gone. Okay, hello, thank you very much for tuning in. This is the tail end of the stream, but we've still got a few minutes left to go. Thank you for tuning in. So yeah. So the Nexus Pro jammed on me unintentionally. The long shot, which is the X-Shot Pro, broke on me. I can't fix it. I don't know what's broken in order for me to replace it or fix it or whatever it is. So that's a £35 write-off. Nerf posted on Instagram or Twitter, or maybe even both, a 2 truths, 1 lie, teasing that they would be putting out their first half-length blaster or half-length darts firing blaster next month. So, I am skeptical. I've always preferred flywheels, and I've had 2 pro blasters break on me. Nerf quality control is way better than any other company. The end product might be a really bad blaster, but in terms of everything that's there, barring what happened with the initial 2 years of Elite 2.0, they have learned their lesson. I can confidently say they've learned their lessons with clipping the blasters together, plastic leaf springs, cheaping outs where they shouldn't have. I feel like if they put out their half-length firing blaster, it would be a damn good blaster. I would like to try and get a hold of one, but again, I'm hesitant. If that breaks on me, I'm never touching another Springer again in my life. I don't care how good it is, I'm not touching it. I don't want to buy blasters that break on me. These are the only 2 that I've ever really done that, and that's incredibly frustrating. So yeah. It is a bit of a shame, it must be said. But sometimes that's just what it is. I can see people talking in chat. I will catch up with you in just a second. There we go. That's 2 coaches done. I am quite tempted. This is something that came to my mind recently. In terms of all the rebuilding and things going on, I've got 4 Blue Goose coaches. with the box that I've made, I could technically squeeze in another foam plate, whatever you want to call it, so I could build 2 more coaches. I'm kind of tempted, you know. I'm kind of tempted. I wouldn't mind having 2 more because it would make the consist much longer. I can make another standard passenger coach and try that dome car. If anything, I'll make the dome car first, see how much room I have to play with in terms of getting a second coach in that layer. If I can only make 1 more, sure, that's fine. But that would be a cool thing to have. I would like to make some more coaches. My Coronation Express has 12 coaches. Well, technically 13, but it's like a dozen coach express, for goodness sakes. So yeah. Right, let's go through chat. Tonk says, who would win in a train WWE fight? Choo Choo, Choo Choo, Chirels, or Emerald Champion? For me, I would pick Emerald Champion because that spider ain't got no chance of surviving that giant. Emerald Champion doesn't have spider legs. Could you imagine Emerald Champion as like a millipede? Oh, somebody make that fan art. I'm making it known here and now. I want to see that fan art on the Discord server. Okay. Choo Choo Chorels. UP fan says, at some point I plan to make a triplex, and I've technically made a quadruplex before. Ah, okay. Very cool. That's not a bad fig. I'm going to keep that one in there. But yeah, be careful when it comes to making quads and triplexes because they are massive locos. He also says there are locomotives I've attempted to make that I don't talk about, the giants. Emerald Champion with many legs on the way after this stream. Excellent, excellent. I mean, yeah, everybody likes to keep some things close to their chest. I mean, if you're building something you want to keep it private, yeah, just keep it private. Is there another text yet? Hmm. Okay, that's another coach done. Well, with new minifigures at least. I would show the minifigures, but they're not exactly exciting. They're just cleaner looking minifigures compared to the ones I've already got in here. Neither are coaches for that matter. Duplexes and simple articulates are not simple to build either. Yeah, I mean they're still big engines. It's going to take a lot of skill to be able to get them correct. That's a good fig. I like that one. That's basic. 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 Kind of like that one. Basic. Okay. So we are coming to the closing point of the stream. Still can't talk properly, even after all this time. But we do have a nice selection of modern minifigures in my coaches, which is excellent. Because that's got that one. Alright, those two can go in there. Perfect, that's the perfect amount. I'm building an S1 model that is powered with lights and steam out of Lego. I'm building a rake of coaches for her as well, and they will be lighted up as well. Okay, that will be very cool to see. I love the S1. So when you get through finishing that off, send a picture to the Discord server. I would love to see that. You know me as well. I love my big engines. Oh, and the battery box. There we go. So that's all of the Blue Goose coaches topped up with minifigures, and the battery boxes are in place. There we go. I just need to get the coaches back in the box, and that'll be done. Made the prototype, now patenting the concept. Excellent. I'm looking forward to seeing that post. I do plan to make the S1 once I get 2 more wheels, which is probably next summer or spring. Sheesh. I'll say bye in case the stream ends before I'm back. The stream is about to end, so I will see you later on, Duck. Thank you very much for tuning in. And thank you everyone else for tuning in as well. So, this was a very nice stream. A little bit longer than usual. This was me getting a bit impatient and excited. Sadly, no response from the fellow lug friend who is hosting the competition. Yeah, I won't keep you updated because it's a more private thing. It was more of a here and now, if so, maybe sort of thing. But yeah, we will figure that out as we go along, but that's my own private thing. Anyways, yes, so hello everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. I don't know why I'm saying hello because we're about to end. But yes, the stream is coming to an end. It's a pretty good stream. Quite like this. This was nice to have one like a little bit longer. Never mind the fact that there was a communication error with my Wi-Fi and the fact that my bloody PC switched itself off. So, could be worse. Not a bad stream, but technically it was a bad stream. So just before we disappear, if you want to become a member of the channel and support me in a more personal way, then you can press the join button, which is placed underneath the title of these streams and videos. It would mean so much if you wanted to support me in such a way. Nobody is obligated to do so, but if you wish to do so, the option is there. And in the description, sadly, whilst it's not here, that's a bit of a shame. I'll have to try and update these. Where it is, I'll have to update it now. But I have a project on Lego ideas. It is my Queen Miracle Express. And I encourage you to share it around. Let's get that project to 10,000 supporters to turn that into a official train set. We need some more train sets in the Lego hobby, folks, and this could be one of the best ways of going about it. So once again, all you need to do is follow the link, log in, press support. That's it. It takes 2 minutes and it's completely free. So thank you everyone so much for tuning in. I will be doing a vlog of the Lego show this weekend, or at least I will try to. It's supposed to be a really busy weekend according to how many tickets we've sold already. I will get some video footage while I'm setting up on the Friday, but yeah, it could be a few days before it goes out. I will of course keep you all updated and informed on what's going on. But yeah, should be a good time. Thank you again. I'm just making sure everything's coming across because chat on my tablet has been bugging out, but chat on the computer has been fine. No, I think we're all good. Right, for the last time, thank you folks. Always remember,